Hello and welcome. Today we've got something special for you. So sit down, stick around, and enjoy.
Hello and welcome to another Ask Kev Anything. Yes, can you believe it, man? Another Ask Kev Anything. How many of these have we done? I don't know, a million maybe. I don't really remember. But it's been a long time since I actually did an Ask Kev Anything, so I thought, you know what? I gotta connect back with the peeps. I gotta connect with the peeps. So that's what I'm doing here today. So, yeah, your questions, my answers. So sit down, stick around, and as always, enjoy. So we're going to start this Ask Kev Anything right now with probably, I don't know, the number one question that I got recently or that I've had in the last little while. I'm not going to say this question is from yada yada yada, because in reality, everybody's asked me this question. It's like the most asked question that I get, or that I've gotten recently. So I'm just going to go right ahead and just talk about it. The question is, Kevin, what do you think of the new Batman Arkham City game? I got that a lot. Two questions I got a lot of. I got a lot of, what do I think of Batman Arkham City? And what do I think about the new Spider-Man game, too? Number one, just to clarify something, I know you guys are probably going to be upset, pissed off, boo, whatever. But I didn't get a chance to play Spider-Man yet. I know. I'll get to it eventually. Got a lot of shit to do. This time of year, it's Christmas time. A whole bunch of shit's going on, so it's kind of hard for me to sit into a game and play. Some people have said it's not that great, but I'll judge that when I actually play. But a game that I did play right away because I pretty much knew it was going to be awesome. And I was actually looking more forward to playing this than I was Spider-Man, which is a shock. Because Spider-Man's my favorite character. Batman Arkham City. So everybody wants to know, what do I think of Batman Arkham City? I can tell you guys right now, if you haven't played this game, get out, buy it. Rent it, I don't care what you do, play this thing. It is awesome. Absolutely awesome. The thing is, if you like the first one especially, I mean, you're going to love this. It's better than the first one, much better than the first one. Still incorporates most of the same gameplay as the first one. I think the lore to this game has always been the villains. You don't know which villain you're going to meet and which villain's going to be in the game. And that's always been the catch for me. Anyway, from that was a catch for me. Well, the incredible gameplay too from Batman Arkham Asylum, now Arkham City. Something, I don't really want to spoil anything, but I kind of do at the same time because I want to talk about this. So I played the game. It was great. Anybody out there who's listened to some of my other reviews, some of my other videos, knows that my favorite villain in Batman is Mr. Freeze. So it's always been Mr. Freeze. I love Victor Freeze. And having him in this game was just also fucking awesome. And I remember sitting there and I was playing the game. And I knew who was going to be in it. A lot of snow and shit going on in the game and all that. You kind of had a hint he was going to be in there. And finally you meet up with him. And when I met up with him, his look and all that, I was okay with the look. And I was like, oh, fuck, he's talking normal and shit. And, I don't know. I don't know with this guy. You know what I mean? His voice sounds normal. For those of you who watch the Batman animated series, which is probably the best comic book-based animated series ever, at least in my opinion, the Batman animated series. Two things were great about that series. Well, three things. Batman's voice was awesome. The Joker's voice, Mark Hamill, was awesome. So Joker naturally is in the game as well, and it's Mark Hamill's voicing it, which is great. But Mr. Freeze's voice was fantastic. It was echoey, cold, distant, awesome. I loved it. And when I saw him in the game, he was talking normal. I was like, fuck, why did they do this? It kind of hurt me. It made me feel like made me feel like when I, well, not as bad, but when I watched Arnold Schwarzenegger walk around with the fuzzy slippers and totally murder the character of Victor Fries. And then I was like, oh, I don't know. And then he betrays Batman and they start a fight. That dome comes down over his face. Fucking goggles glow red. And that echoey voice starts because he's in the bubble. Oh my god. I was like, oh yeah! Oh, it was gold. And the fact that during the entire battle, all he does, he talks and taunts you, is just, oh, I didn't want to beat him. I was like, no, I don't want to crack his face. No, not yet. Let's wait a bit. Let him bitch at me a little more. I want him to bitch at me a little more. You know, calling Joker the clown. Ah, fucking loved it. That was awesome. Definitely a tremendous ode to Victor Fries. The way it should be. None of that Schwarzenegger bullshit. It was beautiful. Just like in the animated series. It was beautiful. So I loved that part. Something else that I loved. Naturally, the Joker's always cool. He was great in the game. Joker's probably one of the best villains in comic book history, period. Not necessarily my favorite, but I think that he is more or less the biggest and best villain to his hero that there is out there. I don't think anybody compares to the Joker. He was one of the first, and he's definitely he's incredible as a character. And in the game, oh my god, he's fucking cool. And I think the fact, the end fight, the last fight of all, which I'm not going to spoil, but because there's a huge surprise there, and it's really neat. And when I started seeing that happening, I was like, the last boss fight, I was like, oh, fuck, are you shitting me? This is awesome. I was freaking out because I didn't expect it at all. And then, the credits. Watch the credits. You have to watch the credits. There's a scene in the credits of that game that will fucking haunt you when you go to bed at night. It is so awesome. It was so awesome. When I heard it during the credits, I was like, holy shit, this is so eerie. Because you kind of question what you just saw, and you kind of question knowing what time this message came. You kind of question what happened really at the end of the game, and I don't really want to spoil it. Some people may post shit on the video here and actually spoil it for people. I don't know. I don't want to spoil it though. It's phenomenal. It's fucking eerie. It's creepy, and it made me go out to Toys R Us and buy the latest Joker figure. That's how awesome it was, because I was like, holy fuck, this is phenomenal. And Mark Hamill as the Joker from the anime series to the games is awesome. I heard that he doesn't want to do the games anymore. I heard actually he retired the Joker character, period, and will only do it if there's a Batman Killing Joke direct-to-DVD animated movie that comes out. I hope he's only doing this or saying this in order to hopefully get more money the next time he does it. You know what I mean? Playing hardball. That'd be cool, because fuck man, you need this guy as a Joker. Mark Hamill is the voice of the Joker. He is awesome. Now, holy fuck, I talked a lot about that. Let's get on to other questions with actual people I can name their names. This is from Anthony Emilet, and he writes, hey Kevin, I was wondering, since I collect Transformers and I can't find any G1s, should I try to get the Encore reissues? By the way, your videos are awesome. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you. Thanks for thinking I'm awesome. Oh my god. The emotion. Thanks for watching the videos, by the way. Encore reissues are great. I've bought some of them. Some of them I haven't bought because I had the originals in really good shape, so I don't really bother. But one of my friends collects them all anyway, so I get to see them all as they come out. The Encore reissues are great. The thing that's nice is that they actually tweaked a lot of the originals, and not tweaked them in a bad way, tweaked them into giving them something that they didn't have before, or correcting a flaw, which is great. This is example Omega Supreme. behind the shield, you know, you kind of have like a face-like silhouette, which is neat. Stuff like that, very cool. So, Algo ratios, yes, definitely, all the way. If you can't find the originals, they're definitely a good substitute for the originals, and in some cases, they actually, the molding that surpasses the original. So, yeah, definitely. Get the Encores. You won't be sorry. Alright, next is from Stony Wolf. And he writes, can you please do a Secret Wars review? Please. He said please twice. And by Secret Wars, I mean the one that was released in 1984, not the new one. Thanks for your time if you're reading this. Well, Stony Wolf, I had several requests to do Secret Wars 101. I haven't quite jumped on board, but I haven't quite said no. So, it may happen. Can't guarantee it, but it may happen. Hopefully the stuff I will do, if I don't do it, will be cool with you and cool with everybody else. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. It's amazing the amount of requests I get for 101s. It's like, it's nuts. Next question, Durrell Reed, and he writes, can you do a hero class, or 101 class, on my favorite Marvel character, the Punisher? Again, another request. The Punisher I got actually quite often. Would I do a 101 on the Punisher? It's kind of funny because one of my best friends is a huge Punisher fan. Huge Punisher mark. Like, Punisher is his guy. Spider-Man to me is Punisher to him. So, I almost feel threatened to do a 101 on the Punisher just because I'm afraid of his scrutiny. Because I think if I wouldn't do it right, he would piss in my gas tank. And then I wouldn't be able to get to work. But I may still risk it. Who knows? Again, just like Secret Wars, I'm not saying no. I just don't know yet. Next question. This is awesome. From a bald midget that loves you. Aww. Aww, bald midgets love me. Little people, big world. He writes, hey DCompose, I have an important question. Ooh, it's important. Who would win a fight between Jaws and Neil Patrick Harris, NPH? Although Neil Patrick Harris is quite a shark, I'm going to have to go with Jaws on this one because, I don't know. Jaws is awesome. Jaws is awesome, and I never saw Harold and Kumar say that they needed a bigger boat. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Jaws on this one. Although NPH should probably give him quite a battle. Some questions. They're just so... They're so awesome that they make me think too much. I don't like thinking. Next question is from Joshua. And he writes, hey there, DCompose. Hope you had a nice past 2 weeks. Whatever that means. Yeah, 2 weeks. Last 2 weeks were pretty good. I got some questions and suggestions for Ask Kev Anything. The next one. If you can please put my letter in your next AKA, it would really mean a lot to me, pal. We're friends now. Aww. He writes, question 1. What are your thoughts on the Superman Man of Steel reboot? My thoughts is they have to reboot it. And the reason being is because Bryan Singer pretty much fucked the franchise up the ass. This is the issue with Superman. Visually, the new Superman, the last Superman Returns, was cool. Seeing him like catch a plane and shit, that was really neat. But unfortunately, the story was so messed up. Superman having a kid? Like, what the fuck is that? And then, the only thing that can kill Superman, kryptonite, he lifts something, a fucking island, he lifts a piece of kryptonite the size of Long Island and fucking carries it. It's like, what the fuck is that? His only weakness, which the character's flawed if he doesn't have any, so they give him a weakness, which is kryptonite. Usually, he can't stand a sliver of this shit. He's holding fucking Manhattan, and nothing. He fucking gets away with it. It boggles the mind. I don't know. I don't know. I love the fact they're going with Zod. Zod is phenomenal. I don't know if the new Zod can quite do what Terrence Stamp did for Zod, but Zod was awesome. Zod in Superman 2 is the man. Everyone will kneel. We all kneel to Zod. Zod! Everyone kneels to Zod. It's gold. So, Zod. Zod's great. I mean, you could have told me the movie would have starred Justin Bieber as Superman, and he would have said, but Zod's going to be in it, and he's going to be as cool as he was in the second movie of the original series, and I'd be like, Pit Bieber in that fucking cape, I'm good for Zod. I love Zod. Next question. From Grandom, and he writes, not sure if you still do these, but just in case you do the Ask Kev Anything shows, like, have you not been watching? Who would win a fight between the Beyonder from Marvel and Generation 1 Wheelie from Transformers? Hands down, Generation 1 Wheelie. Because there's one thing, one weakness that the Beyonder has, and it's an annoying little fuck with the slingshot. So, if Wheelie uses his slingshot, he'll take out the Beyonder. He fucking practically took out Grimlock. So, yeah. I'm going to go with Wheelie for that. If anything, he's going to annoy the shit out of him. So he might just take off from the fight. Next question is from Akhtar. And he writes, I'm not sure if you've been asked this before, being a huge Voltron fan. But being a huge Voltron fan, have you watched the original Japanese series Go Lion that Voltron was adapted from? What do you think of it? If you have, from what I understand, numerous plot and character changes were made to the US version to avoid heavy subject matter like death. This is true, for those of you who don't know. Go Lion in Japan, actually the series, which we grabbed fragments out of in pieces and made Voltron in North America, was a lot heavier. There's a lot of death, a lot of shit like that going on. So they kind of cut that out because they thought it wasn't kid-oriented, which it's not. What do I think of Goal Line as a series? I've never watched a lot of Goal Line. All I really watch is kind of like some clips and stuff, a few episodes here and there because my friend had a DVD. But the one thing that was actually neat about the Goal Line series that was different in the US, for those of you who don't know this, if you remember, Sven, the original Blue Line driver, Sven, before Allura started driving the line, he, Buddy drives the line, then after he decides, I'm not going to drive the line, I'm going away, takes off for a while, okay, fine. Then later on in the series, he comes back. Allura's driving the line, he just comes back to visit it. Hi, I'm Sven, I'm back, and everybody's happy. But, what some people don't know is in a Japanese series, Sven actually dies. He doesn't leave, he's dead. The character dies, so he's written off. Now, people will say, well, I remembered Voltron, when he came back. He was back with the people, with the drivers. They were all together again and happy and all that shit. What people don't know is that Sven, the Sven that died, doesn't come back in a Japanese series. His twin brother comes back in the Japanese series. So his twin brother is in a Japanese series, and they meet up with him. But in the animated series, since nobody talks Japanese, and it's dubbed, so who gives a shit? You can change plot points if you want. They basically said, oh, it's Sven again! It's Sven, he's back! Yay! So, yeah, so the Sven you see in Voltron, after the initial episodes, the return isn't actually him. It's his twin brother. Sven's dead, baby. Sven's dead. Next question. This is wrestling related. from All Things Ninja. Hey Kev, I have a wrestling question for you. Actually, a couple of questions. I've only recently got back into wrestling. He's a product of the WCW NWO glory days, which are probably the best days of wrestling. And he's still not sure I'm still not sure to make of the Sting's Joker gimmick. And then he goes on to say that he thinks that Flair should hang it up, but what about the other vets around? How much longer do you think Hulk Hogan, Sting, and those guys have? Sting seems like he can go. What I think about Sting and the Joker gimmick, I don't mind it. I know some people hate it. I don't mind it. I'll tell you why. Because it's the only thing different Sting has done in years. Ever since Sting put on that white makeup in the NWO, that was it. That's been Sting since then. There's been no change. So, to see him go totally loony, I know people are like, oh, it's a ripoff of Joker, it's a ripoff of Heath Ledger. Everything you see on TV is a ripoff of something. Everything you see in wrestling is a ripoff of something. It doesn't really matter. So, I'm totally for it. It gives him a new dimension. It makes him different because he's been the same for so long. So, I'm for it. Thing is, though, you mentioned Hulk Hogan and all those guys. I don't think Hulk Hogan can wrestle anymore. I really don't think he can. So I wouldn't put him in the ring, although we've seen him in the ring, and there's not much to see. Even Flair. Flair's too old. Flair and Hogan are mic people now. You know, put them as managers, or put them just voicing or leading factions, managing factions, stuff like that. They're cool. Flair can still cut an awesome promo. He is probably still the best promo in the business. There's nothing better than seeing Ric Flair cut a promo against Hulk Hogan, freak out, Hogan! That is beautiful. When he does that, it's gold every time. So I love that. Sting can still go. Oh, he's going to slow down a little bit. But he can still go. I think what keeps Sting it's strange because the one thing he didn't change about his gimmick is the makeup. And I think that's his saving grace. Because when he has the makeup on, it hides all the lines. He still looks like the same Sting he looked like back then. A little bit of receding hair maybe. But it looks the same because his wrinkles are covered. I think it's a good idea to go with the makeup. You notice by the end of the match, when there's no makeup, you kind of see the age. But yeah, I think Sting can still go. But he needs to keep the makeup. So the Joker thing isn't that bad. Next question. I'm going way over time here, man. Jeez Louise. So many questions. So my next question here is from MMAHR Jr. or Mamahar Jr. And he writes, who is your favorite DC character? Well, if you haven't guessed it by now, by what I said earlier in other videos, Mr. Freeze. Mr. Freeze has always been my favorite DC character. My favorite DC villain, and he's my favorite DC character. I guess if you're looking for a villain, it's Mr. Freeze. If you're looking for a hero, I mean, I like Batman and Superman. I probably like Green Lantern a little more. But definitely Mr. Freeze if you're talking out of everybody. Another villain that I like that people don't give enough credit to is Professor Zoom, the Reverse Flash from The Flash. I've been a big fan of his for years, and finally now he's starting to get some recognition. It's about time. Last question from Joe McGrath. Oh my god, another McGrath. Hey Kev, I'm a big fan of yours whose last name is also McGrath. That makes you awesome right there. How about that? But my question, what do you think of how Bane is looking so far in The Dark Knight Rises? Also, how do you feel about Catwoman not wearing the cat ears? I don't think Catwoman wearing cat ears would actually work because what Nolan tries to do is he tries to make the characters look real. Like you would see them normally walking around like today type thing, you know what I mean? Like he doesn't give them the cartoony aspect. So I think having the ears on her would kind of be a little cartoony. So I have no problem with that, and Anne Hathaway is incredibly hot. So I'm good with that. No ears, the less clothing she has actually is fine by me. As for Bane, I like the way Bane looks. It looks cool. You know. Do I kind of miss the wrestler mask? You know what I mean? With the red eyes and shit. Yeah, I do, you know, because, I don't know. It's kind of one of the cool things about Bane. But I'm sure I'm going to like him nonetheless in the movie. So, I mean, I can't complain. He's trying to make it look realistic. So, if I'm going to be okay with it for Catwoman, I'm going to have to be okay with it for Bane too. So I think about that. That's it for the questions. You know what? Keep sending in the questions. You can also go to my Twitter account. www.twitter.com/AskKevAnything or just at AskKevAnything. And send me questions there. I may actually answer them right there on Twitter, which I do sometimes. What else do I got to plug here? Yeah, for those of you who haven't watched my movie, Great White Life, it's on YouTube now, absolutely free. So you can watch it, Great White Life, or go to my website. There's a link right there, www.greatwhitelife.com. And finally, another thing I gotta plug in, it's Bring Back Pac-Man cereal. I'm still waiting for a bowl of Pac-Man cereal. We need to put the crush on General Mills now. So, you can go to www.askkev anything.com. Click on the Bring Pac-Man. Bring back Pac-Man cereal link, and then it'll show you what you can do. You can email them, go tweet them. Make sure I'm added to the tweet too, so I can see it and retweet it. We get this shit going. We need Pac-Man cereal. More TV spot Pac-Man ads are coming to the channel soon, so don't worry about that. New 101 class is coming, for those of you who have been waiting. Is it going to be about a specific group or specific thing? It's actually going to be themed this time. Hence the season we're in right now, so... Jeez, I can't stop coughing. That'll probably give you an idea of what I'm going to be talking about. Or what's going to be the feng shui of the 101. New toy review coming soon. I can't tell you what it is, but I can kind of hint at it. And I leave you with this. For those of you who are in Canada, you know of the store Zellers. Basically, Zellers has been sold to Target. So we're finally going to be getting a Target, which is cool, but we'll be saying bye to Zellers, which is kind of sad. Zellers brought back a little spokesperson here for Toyland! Zeddy! Zeddy's back! Remember Zeddy? Look at Zeddy! Look at him! Zeddy! Fuck, the lowest price is the law! Ah! Give me your toys! So Zeddy's back, which is cool. Haven't seen Zeddy in forever, so this is awesome. So, I know we'll be saying goodbye to Zellers. Maybe Zeddy will have a fight with Spot from Target, and that'd be kind of cool to watch. I'd pay on pay-per-view to see that. So until next time, guys, keep watching, keep subscribing, keep asking questions, keep tweeting the shit out of General Mills to get Pac-Man cereal back. Keep doing everything you're doing, and that's it for me. Take care. Later.